Hi Nazym, so I'm happy to see these new essays from you. Let's get right into your correction. Okay, the first one is the letter to a manufacturer. Dear Mr. Jones, I hope this letter finds you well. For more than 5 years, we have been working together with your team, and I'm delighted to tell you, see, I automatically said it even though I didn't even see it. I am delighted to tell you that our cooperation is really productive. With reference to our telephone conversation yesterday, I'm writing to you to inquire about something, okay? Preliminary details on your capability to supply us with the mixer, settler, coupler, serial number this. Let me provide you with some details of when we need new spares. Service engineers of the Flotwig performed a regular technical check of the mixture settler and provided us with a report saying that its covers need to be changed within a time span of 5 months as the percentage of their wear and tear now makes 80%. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. The percentage makes 80%. I don't understand that really. Do you mean that it's at 80% currently? Maybe that's what you mean, that the percentage of their wear, it's like, do you mean that it's 80% worn already? I think that's what you are trying to say. Okay. Since I know that you produce these covers specifically for every mixer settler, could you please tell us how long it will take to manufacture these spares individually designed for the mixer settler we are currently running? Best regards, Nazym. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, you did everything except for that one little area. It was fine. I wanted a closing though. Okay? I mean, I felt like your letter ended really suddenly. All right, so you really needed like a closing statement here between this last question and your best regards. So something like, I will be awaiting your prompt reply so that we can get this matter settled, or just something like that. Or please provide me with information so that we may order you know, the covers that are required, something. All right, but you did need a closing here, and you don't have it, so that's a little problem here. Other than that, the letter is lovely. Okay, so let's take a look at your task 2. Okay, some people believe that employment over the age of 60 is not right. Okay, so let's see what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether people should retire at the age of 60 or if they should continue their careers. Some believe that people that are what's going on here? Some believe that middle-aged people have to withdraw themselves from the workforce. Now here you needed some sort of a contrast, okay? So I wanted something like yet. Personally, I strongly, oh, no, you agree. Okay, so instead, it should be and. Personally, I strongly agree. This essay will argue that retirement age should be set at 60 using examples from the UK government, Oxford University to demonstrate points and state arguments. Okay, fine. On the is missing here. On the one hand, there is ample evidence without the and that middle-aged people, not the, are experienced professionals. The central reason behind this is twofold. I would have preferred here a colon or a semicolon at least, not a comma. Firstly, senior people gained their experience in economic turmoil. What? Why? Why did they, how? All right, this is a statement that you're making. You're just throwing it out there, but you do need to back it up. You need to give some sort of an explanation or some sort of an example. Their experience in economic turmoil. Yeah, so don't just leave it like that. Explain what you mean. Okay? Secondly, they have stamina and can concentrate on their work, not their works, that has a different meaning, and demonstrate high performance. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 60% of all executives in the UK-based companies, not the, are in fact, in fact belong to the age group above 60 years old. It must not be forgotten that although senior people may encounter productivity decrease issues, these can be easily tackled with today's medical health care. How? Why? I mean, why are you mentioning mouth? How do you think that they can be tackled? I'm a little confused here. Okay. Also, you mentioned that they have stamina, they can concentrate, and they demonstrate high performance. And then you give the statistic. I don't see how these are so closely affiliated. I mean, just because people people who are executives, I mean, 60% of these people are over 60 doesn't mean necessarily that they have all these things here. So if you're going to make that connection, make sure that it's a stronger connection, all right? All right, and then again, I had a problem with this whole thing about medical health care. You had to explain it a little longer, a little more. All right, so although there is a case for senior people counting themselves as employable, the impact of younger people cannot be overstated. Okay. Okay. This is because youngsters carry energy and strive for changes which launch startups. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that 100% of all startups were initiated by young leaders. No "the" here. Consistent with this line of thinking is that a considerable number of IT and social network companies were developed by people who were university students at that time, such as Facebook, Twitter, Ellie Mae, or even Microsoft. That it's possible to state without doubt that the youth have tremendous impact on modern day life. Okay, let me just... Okay, you know what my issue here is, and this is where I'm looking now at the task again. I feel like you're answering a different question, okay? So I feel like, check out what the question is again. Let's look at it together again, okay? Some people believe that employment over the age of 60 is not right and creates lots of problems. So they should retire and not work. Here, basically, you've talked about why you disagree, right? But what you didn't do is talk about the second part here. You didn't talk about it being not right and creates problems. This for me is a word that is an expression that you need to underline. It's not right and it creates problems. You didn't talk about that at all. Instead, what you did was you talked about the benefits of young people, and the essay never asks you what those benefits are. It asks you what the problems of having people over 60 working is. Do you understand the difference? Okay. It might seem, I mean, yeah, they are related, but it's not what the question is asking you. So I want you to analyze these questions a little better before you start to write. Because it could be considered now that this is all like tangential. All right, and you're not answering the question. All right, let's move on. From the arguments above and examples given, I firmly believe that although senior people provide an invaluable contribution to manpower, not the role of the young generation is much more practical. It is felt on a daily basis, and therefore its impact is considerably greater. It is predicted that young people's role will increasingly grow in the future. Okay, I have already told you why this is inappropriate. So, also, let's say they should retire and not work. Okay, so the paragraph order is fine, but like I said, this was the wrong way to develop this entirely. Okay, let's take a look at your task 1. I don't know why we have a second task 1 here. I thought it would just be 1, but okay. Alrighty, let's see. Dear Sir, Madam, I would like to you don't really bring apologies. I would like to express my sincere apologies for not being present at the exam. Okay, if I got this letter, I would say, what exam? What? So, I am writing regarding you got a letter from them, didn't you? Let me see. You received a letter, right. So it would make more sense if it was something like, Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing regarding my absence at exam, etc., etc., etc. I would like to sincerely apologize for not being present. Okay, so first express this, give the person some sort of reference, like what are you talking about, okay? My name, and I wouldn't have made this a different paragraph. I would have kept them together. So my name is Nazym Abdeldina. My student number is this, and the number of the case raised due to my inability to attend the exam is this. Fine. Let me outline the situation. Okay, this is a little not as formal as I would like. I mean, you're basically giving them in order, and it's not really appropriate in an essay like this. So, first, I would like to outline the situation. Is a little more polite. Okay, it's not quite so direct. The night before the exam, I felt unwell, bought Theraflu, and took it. Later, I started vomiting and felt extremely weak. Eventually, I fell asleep. All right. When I woke up, I realized the exam had, wrong tense, okay? The next day, I was told that the report on me regarding the exam non-attendance had been submitted to the authorized body. I'm attaching the receipt for medical, I'm attaching the receipt for, the medicine. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm attaching the receipt for the medicine purchased, ED here, from the pharmacy as proof of my sickness. The date of receipt is a day before the exam. I respectfully request the examinations committee to consider my, not my disease, first of all it's spelled wrong, but my illness, being genuine, and allow me to take the exam. If it is not allowed under the student's code, I request permission to re-attend the course the following term and take the exam afterwards. Once again, I apologize for any inconvenience I caused. Don't forget your full stop here. Yours faithfully. That's correct. Good. All right. Yeah. So this is fine. Like I said, if there was anything, it was this kind of thing. I might have wanted, well, no, it was fine. I mean, you had a couple of sentences that were kind of short, like a lot of like short little sentences right after the other, like this one right here. Let me outline the situation. The night before exam, I felt unwell, bought Theraflu, and I took it. Later, I started vomiting, felt extremely weak. Eventually, I fell asleep. Okay, so I would have liked those to have been written a little more fluidly. Okay, so like this, for example, I would have liked to have seen these joined together in a more fluid way. But it's a nice attempt overall, and you did something that I really liked. Let me tell you what. Most people don't do this. Do you see how it says possible resolutions, plural? You did that, and I was really happy about that because most people actually don't. You gave them 2 resolutions, so that was very well done. Okay, so now what you need to do, Nazym, is obviously you have to correct these essays. Don't forget your error correction list. Send them all back to us. We're waiting to see what you write next, okay? So that's the end of this correction, and I wish you lots of luck with your next writing assignment.